news, everyone. It's that time again. Time for another lecture with your brilliant professor of Native American literature here at Sisseton, Wahpeton College. And now, without any further ado, the man himself, the brilliant Professor Victor Singingeagle. Yay! Right on, right on, right on. Welcome, welcome, one and all, to another fine day here at Sisseton Wahpeton College from your insane host, Professor Victor Singingeagle. Well, let's get this party started, shall we? First things first, let's see if anybody's turned in any student information sheets yet. Bao Ziluo, Violet Bars, Dong Ting Hua, Tasia Eastman, Gu Tian Tian, Brittany Courage, Mo Jinghua, Gina Mota. Yay! Right on. What is this? Nie Kai Xin, Casey Nayland. O Ting Hua, Tia Owen. Ran Kai Ting, Tina Robbins, no, Katie Robbins. Keep going. How about Luo Ma Ding, Marty Ross? Yay! See, I'm supposed to be creating a file on all you guys, and if I don't have anything in the file, what am I supposed to do when it's time to grade? All right, focus. Shi Mo Li, Jasmine Strauss. Yay! And last but not least, Ye Jing Jing Kim White Mountain. Okay, that's enough of that. So we got that taken care of. We got some e-learning announcements. Let's make it bigger. There is a domestic violence support group. Let me pull it up. Email. Let's see if it works this time. Domestic, there it is right there. Samantha Crandall, double check your email, of course, as I'm always saying. There's an attachment. You can click on it every Thursday, 4:30 to 5:30. That is for those of us who did military time. That's going to show up on a quiz one of these days. We'll talk about it later, not now. Military time, 1630 to 1730, and the behavioral health group room. I don't even know where that is. Do you guys know? Is that here on campus, or is that on... No, it's in Willard Laframboise Street. I cannot pronounce French. 45652 Willard Laframboise Street, Agency Village, South Dakota, 57262. And there's the number. If for more information, dial 605-698-2106. Again, 605-698-2106. If you need help immediately, male or female, 911. So we're going to shrink. It's not going to let me shrink it. All right, fine. We'll go back then. Boop. There. Boop. The other news is, let's see, right, the SPEP, or SHPEP application opens November 1st. These are people who are interested in healthcare careers. Let me see, summer health Professions Education Program. So there's the information. Again, check your email. But another reminder, that is the deadline. Well, that's the opening date, November 1st. But deadlines always creep up on us. You know how that is. So we want to jump on it. Eligibility at a glance. Wow, first or second year. Fewer than 90 earned college credits, GPA of only 2.5, permanent resident, U.S. citizen, or DACA student. What you get, wow, says here application closes February 5, 2026, and decisions are released March 2026. Again, that deadline is going to creep up on you, so jump on it as soon as it opens, which is November 1st. And there's another, what you call it? Some attachments right there. You click on it and boom, there you go. No, I don't want to watch it. Go away. Stop. You can watch it on your own. We don't have time, you see, because I'm supposed to bother you with our quiz that is coming up. Before I do that, are there any other announcements? No, not yet. PDF. That's right. Oh, just for your information, I posted myself poorly reading a couple, or the introduction to Bruchak's Bear Walker. That's for your listening pleasure. I stuck it up on YouTube, and I also put it on eLearning. I'm still working on the Dumars outing videos. The audio quality came out really crappy. So I have to go to the YouTube studio and edit stuff and put in maybe some narration. Who knows? It just says what we did and why this affects native literature. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That's not going to show up on the test this time around because I'm so late with it. Right. South Dakota Book Festival's next week, which means I've got to film it. Hopefully I have better audio quality. Maybe I'll have somebody hold this little bitty microphone. We'll see. Pop Quiz E is going to be ready as soon as I'm done talking. 98 days till Christmas. Right. Anything else I need to tell you? Nope, that's it, really. So let's talk. No, I'm going to slow down. I got to slow down and harass you about something for a second. Let's go back to this. Important announcement. You just heard me fussing about students who have not turned in their info sheets. I'm trying not to sneeze. There it goes. It's gone. Well, maybe you just don't know how to get it. So here I am to help you. I right-clicked on this where it says orientation packet. It's slightly, shaded with italics. And I opened up another page. Well, it's gone. I think I got rid of it. Yes, I did. I'll just walk over. Or you can go down here. Where is it? It says there's a little icon. There's orientation packet right there. So you click on it, and it's supposed to open up a new page, and it says Native American Literature Prospectus. It's a doc file or a PDF. That's the prospectus, otherwise known as the syllabus, which you should be reading. And the student info sheet. You have your choice. Do you have a computer that can read doc files, or would you prefer PDF? Choose your poison. Print it, sign it, scan it, email it to me, or come by my office if you have to. Just give me the darn student info sheet. Again, I got to create files on you guys. And if I have empty folders, how can I do your midterm grade? All right. Let's get to the pleasant stuff, shall we? Now, I'm going to scroll down, way down. No, I didn't mean to go that far down. Never mind. I'm just going to give you, this is the paper, wrong one. Slow down. There we go. This is the paper version of our online quiz. Last semester or semester before last, I cannot remember which, I had a couple of students who said that they were technologically impaired. So I said, well, you can always use the paper, the old-fashioned paper one. So I printed them up and handed it to them face to face. If you need to do that, come and see me, or if you want to, I will open it up on eLearning because it's up there. This is a PDF of the paper, our paper quiz, if you don't like messing with technology. What's cool about doing it online, though, is you can get it done. You don't have to worry about papers and losing stuff, and it saves everything for you, and I can pretty much grade you immediately as soon as possible. The computer, all right, I'm talking too much. Never mind. Stand up here, spin my wheels. I gotta explain the quiz. This is so easy. Says there are 5 multiple choice questions. Each one is 5 points. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. And then there's 5 true-false questions. I'm going to read them to you in a second. 2 short essays and 1 long essay. If you just want a C, all you got to do is just memorize all the gobbledygook that I've been spewing this first couple of weeks of class and splatter it on the test. Get all your A, B, C, D's and your true and falses right, and just give me a couple of sentences, and boom, you got a C. But if you want a higher grade, this is where it requires some evidence of logical and critical thinking. So let me quit messing around. What short essays? 15. Well, wait, slow down. 2 short essay questions. Each one is 15 points each. And 1 longer essay, that's 20 points. So there we go. And the math should add up to 25 plus 25 is 50. 20 plus 30 is 50. 50 plus 50 is 100. Boom. Simple. Now we're going to look at the quiz more carefully. We ready? Here we go. Why do many native artists disagree that literature is only written? Let me read that again, keeping in mind that a lot of us are auditory learners anyway, and visual learners, right? Right. Why do many native artists, or writers, or both, we should say, we call ourselves in general artists, disagree that literature is only written? A, because it excludes the sacred oral tradition. B, because the definition is too limited in its scope. C, because it's too Eurocentric. Or D, all of these. Got it? Nobody's going to get these wrong. Number 2, what happened to the many native books that were kept in Mesoamerican libraries? I believe I only spoke about this once in one of my videos. Hope you watched it. A, they were lost in a flood. B, the evil god meteor destroyed them. C, Spanish missionaries burned nearly all of them, with the exception of the Popol Vuh and the Dresden Codex and a couple others. Or D, aliens took them in order to preserve their sacred knowledge. Woo! You know, I should mess up my hair and do that guy Papadopoulos or Takalopoulos on the History Channel say, the aliens did it. No, we're not going to go there. Focus. Number 3, why does the Mexican flag feature an eagle eating a snake while he's perched on a cactus? A, Mexicans just like birds. B, because of an Aztec prophecy. C, a Spanish bishop directed it. Or D, Our Lady of Guadalupe had something to do with it. Or in, I think, the Quiche or Nahuatl language, they say Cuatleculpe. But never mind, we got to go faster. Number 4, according to your professor and several native stories, what is one significant fact about the hero twins? A, they represent idealized concepts of native clean living and closeness to nature. B, they appear in several stories all over the pre-Columbian Americas. C, the idea about them was stolen from Europe. D, all those stories are coincidental parts of what Carl Jung calls the collective unconscious. We never talked about that. We'll have to do that another time. But I'm talking too much. Number 5. Is this the true or false? No, this is multiple. Native critics argue that European writers often depict our people as howling savage, vanishing savage, and the blank savage. Remember that? Hope nobody gets it wrong. We're either howling, vanishing, or A, dead, B, destroying, C, noble, or D, unknown and mysterious. Woo! Now we get to the true and false. Again, we're working on, these are just C answers, okay? Nobody's going to screw this up and flunk the class, right? Right? All right. Number 6, true or false? Professor, I bit my tongue last night. I hate that. True or false? Professor Daniel Heath Justice argues that the idea of indigenous deficiency is highly encouraging because it is meant to empower Native peoples. Number 7, true or false? Professor Harvey Dumars identifies generational trauma as a genuine problem among Aboriginal peoples because it has lasting psychological, physiological, and social effects. Remember, this is true or false. Number 8, author Tiffany Midge says that all natives are vanishing and our lives are always humorless, colorless, and tragic. Number 9, true or false? Dakota author Zitkala Shah, I hope I say that right, Zitkala Shah, was not a real pioneer. I'm going too fast. Let me read carefully. True or false? Dakota author Zitkala Shah was not a real pioneer of pedagogical resistance, but instead believed in indoctrinating children with concepts of non-native cultural colonization and superiority. Number 10, true or false? Professor Singingeagle explains that native etiological stories are meant to explain why things are the way they are, such as natural phenomenon or cultural practices. Again, I sound really terrible reading that. I'll read it again. Professor Singingeagle explains that native etiological stories are meant to explain why things are the way they are, such as natural phenomenon or cultural practices, like why hummingbird has lots of colors. There's a cool story about that. I think I might have posted it already. If I haven't, I will. All right, now we have our short answer. This is about, you probably get away with half a paragraph, but remember to answer. This is one question, but it has multiple parts to it, so pay attention to the wording. Our textbook author, riddle me this, riddle me that. Our textbook author, Daniel Heath Justice, doesn't seem to care for the writings of early Native authors, such as Caleb Chishatamok, William Apus, and Zitkala Shah. However, according to your professor and Gerald Visner, another professor, these authors wrote for a very specific purpose. Why did early Native writers, such as Caleb Chishatamok, I can never say it, William Apus, and Zitkala Shah, use humble, ingratiating voices in their writing? Which arguments, Justice or Visner and Singingeagle, do you prefer? So again, you're looking at Daniel Heath Justice in his book, which I didn't bring with me, but there's a part in some of his writing where he doesn't really like the way they wrote, these early authors, the first generation I told you about before, native writers. They wrote in humble, ingratiating voices that sounded almost like they were being too nice. Oh, I'm giving away the answer. Meanwhile, we got Gerald Visner, who introduced a very specific term I taught you, and Singingeagle, who say, well, they're doing it for a reason. They're not just eating crow or being groveling. Next one, riddle me that. Number 12. Again, that's 15 points for that and 15 for this. What do Professor Daniel Heath Justice and Singingeagle say about our native tendency to refer to ourselves as the real people? How does this refute accusations of ethnocentrism levied on us by non-native ethnographers? Are you satisfied with these professors' explanations of the real people phenomenon? Why or why not? Multiple parts to this question. So if you just answer, well, what is the real people all about? That's a C answer. But if you explain, really what's going on and what do you think about it and do you agree or disagree, that's how you get your A, you see. Show some critical thinking skills. Next one, 15 points again. Here comes our longer answer. In your own opinion, you've heard your professor comment that stories of hero twins, the moon maiden, and rabbit on the moon appear all over the Americas and even as far as Asia. How the heck did such a story get all over the world, but somehow skip Europe? Was it via diffusion or independent invention? As you know, these ethnographers have been arguing it's one of the two. Which one do you think it is? Or combination of both? Please do not give a lazy answer to this question. Got it? There's our quiz. I bet I spoke for like half an hour. So I'm going to knock it off. I can hear a vacuum cleaner in the hallway. I'm going to be posting some more videos that I'm calling them timeless, but this is a timely video. So this probably only be used for this one semester. There goes the vacuum. So I'm going to knock it off. Thank you again for being so patient. You guys have an awesome rest of the week and an awesome weekend. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. 22 minutes and 55 seconds. Right on.